Do you know if your flowers are regifted? The first recipient could not accept or decline. Gifts of appreciation. There is no place in this world like New York. It is a city of extremes, of beauty and chaos, of compassion and indifference, of fortune and hardship. Here you can find the good, the bad, and everything in between. There will never be another place like New York. It is a place that must be experienced to be understood. Frequent angel. There is a certain gentleman who frequents the emergency room, what we call a frequent flyer. A man without a home, without an anchor, but with a presence so familiar that he is almost part of the hospital itself. As we began our shifts last night, my partner and I found him in our section. He had arrived earlier and made himself known in a most unforgettable way. As we turned the corner, we were greeted by the unceremonious sight of his unclothed derriere. His pants had fallen somewhere around his knees, and he was bent over frantically searching for something lost on the floor. The full geography of his body, peaks, valleys, rivers, and plains, was on cinematic display. Blink, blink. Follow. Oh, okay. Our work is not for the faint of heart. Many personalities pass through our doors, some kind, some grateful, but many carrying the weight of their struggles like a storm cloud overhead. Some arrive angry, looking for someone to blame. Others seek human kindness, desperate for a moment of warmth in a world that has turned its back on them. Some come because they are simply lonely. Others come simply to escape the monotony of their everyday life. I have seen and heard so much in this place that I marvel at the fact that I was once a shy girl. Dear Father, the things I have seen and heard. Wooing the ladies with flowers. Mr. Frequent Flyer is a huge man, tall and broad-shouldered. His presence commanding attention whether he means to or not. And tonight, like many others, though nothing was seriously wrong, he was treated and eventually discharged. Since he is homeless, it was only a matter of hours before he returned. Some time later, on my way to grab a Jamaican beef patty with mozzarella cheese, I spotted him in the waiting room. As I passed, I noticed something peculiar. 2 beautiful bouquets of flowers resting beside him. Earlier, he had asked me for $1 to buy bread and walked off with my donation. Yet here he sat, adorned with the splendor of fresh blooms. How could he afford them? My stomach grumbled, dismissing the thought. Hunger won out over curiosity. Back in the ER waiting area. Later, one of the patient care technicians returned from triage and remarked on Mr. Frequent Flyer's peculiar habit. Apparently, he had made it a practice to bring flowers to the hospital staff. A sweet, if perplexing, gesture. But where did he get the flowers? He was homeless, always in need of $1. Was he stealing them from a florist? The truth would prove stranger than fiction. Someone finally uncovered the mystery. Mr. Flowers, our newly dubbed nickname for him, was acquiring his bouquets from a nearby cemetery. He was relieving the deceased of their final tributes, gathering blooms meant for the dead and repurposing them for the living. The revelation horrified the staff. I felt a shudder ripple through me. There he was again, sitting in the waiting area, 2 vibrant bouquets in hand. My mind raced with questions. Had he returned to his favorite spot after his discharge, plucking fresh flowers from another resting place? How did he choose his bouquets? By color? By size? By their proximity to the entrance? And had he been offering these floral gifts to others, unknowingly sharing stolen memories from the graves of strangers? Altered perceptions. After learning the truth, I found my perspective on flowers forever changed. Could I ever again admire their beauty without wondering where they had come from? Would I hesitate before accepting a bouquet, my mind whispering suspicions of its origins? Had I just witnessed the strangest form of regifting in existence? And I wonder, is this truly an isolated incident? Have funeral homes ever regifted flowers meant for the dead? I am not sure I want to know the answer.